Right. Hello, everyone. Do 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 do. Okay, welcome, guys. Welcome everyone to the review. Hi, guys. How you guys doing today? Welcome to the BBNaija Reunion review. I need you guys to come to the comment section and say something so I can know if you're seeing me live. If you can hear me clearly, I need you to join. If you can see me clearly, I need you to join. You can see me, say something, say hi in the comment section. How you guys doing? Hope you guys are good. So if you can see me in the comment section, just say something, say hi, say something, right? And Dino, hi, how are you? Thank you for joining today. Thank you for joining the review. It's good to have you here. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend. Andino, where are you viewing me from? Where are you watching from? For those of you who can see me, say hi in the comment section so that I just know that you can hear me clearly. And then we just start as soon as possible. Good to be here. Thank you. Thank you very much, Andino. Thank you so much. So basically, right, I just felt like I need this to start, Oh, Lagos, thank you. Adetunji Isaiah, thank you very much. Thank you so much for everybody who is taking time to watch my videos. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I also just wanted to say that, I decided to, come here and let's just talk, let's review. Hello, Brenda. Let's review everything that has happened in the last 2 days from the Big Brother Naija. So we had it started on Thursday, and of course we had on Friday also. So it's not going to air tonight. The next episode will be showing on Sunday. I am good. Brenda Namfukwe, great. So basic, right? I wanted us to just talk about everything that has happened in the last 2 days, from the reunion, from the welcome to what happened yesterday. I mean, yesterday was hot. For those of you who have watched the videos that I posted on the channel, it was really, really hot, right? With that being said, I want us to talk about what you want us to discuss. Like, I am here to, to just answer a few questions and let's get to discuss on the things that we've seen over time, So, and I know that we have quite a number of highlights from what has happened in the last few days. From Dorathy to Wathoni. Hello, Chinoye Stephanie. Hello, City Majoris. Thank you for joining. From Dorathy to Wathoni to Prince to Nengi, also Katrina. Katrina was something else yesterday. It was amazing what she did. Did I just say amazing? It was funny because I mean, how would you just want to just open somebody's butt on national TV? But that's by the way. So if you're in the comment section, I want you to start up with what you want us to talk about. You want us to talk about the welcome? The welcome was amazing, the first day. Or you want us to talk about yesterday, what started happening from the basketballs that happened with Wathoni and Dorathy, right? But before you start saying one or two, I'm going to start by saying that yesterday, Ebuka was asking Ozo, what's up with you and Dorathy at the moment? And, Ozo clearly was talking about, okay, this is what's up with me and Dorathy, right? Dorathy is my friend right now. I mean, I see Dorathy as my G. And please, before I continue, I need everybody that's viewing this video right now to please like this video. If you can see me, I can see people right now. Please like this video. It helps to, tell people more about this live stream. Please like the video. I need to see the like increase. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Can the likes increase, please? Can you just like the video? I can see a number of people online right now, but I need you to like the video, right? And okay. So I should talk about yesterday. Okay, literally, I'm going to talk about yesterday. That's what I started with. Please like this video. Thank you. Now, so yesterday, Ebuka started by asking Ozo, what's up? What's up with you and Dorathy, right? And Ozo, being the cool-headed guy he is, he was saying, you know what, myself and Dorathy are cool. I know, he probably didn't know if she was cool with him at the moment, right? But Ozo said, Dorathy is his G. Like he's fine with her. There's no issue between himself and Dorathy. Now, what happened in the house? If you remember the show vividly, we saw that Ozo had stated from day one that Dorathy is my friend. You get what I'm talking about. He had his eyes for Nengi from day one. But of course, you know, sometimes when I feel, I mean, we're all entitled to our opinions, right? But I feel that for Dorathy, she probably low-key liked Ozo. And that's the honest truth. If somebody is in your space, so let me tell you the honest truth. If Dorathy was not, if Nengi was not in the picture of Ozo, Dorathy would have probably been the person in that picture. Because if Nengi was not in that house, and you know, also struck in likeness with Dorathy, I'm sure that that friendship would have grown probably into a relationship, right? But now, after he was done talking, we had Katrina talk. Katrina said, and I'm going to just put it in short, Katrina said that Ozo likes the personality of Dorathy, but likes the physical attributes of Nengi. Now, I'm wondering, so you have a, you want to have, it's like wanting to have, how to put it? It's like wanting to have, okay, it's like wanting to just have this person's personality. So you see a girl, you like the girl's physical attribute, but you know that she probably doesn't, she's not too sharp. But you have a friend who's so sharp, so smart, that you wish that the girl you're in love with is a smart, has this personality of this other person. So he wanted a Dorathy in an Nengi. He wanted the personality of a Dorathy in the body of a Nengi. That was what Katrina was saying, right? Then after that, follow my knowledge carefully. After that, Wathoni stepped in. Ibuka said, okay, Wathoni, let's hear you. Now, Wathoni, okay, so Katrina saying, Inyolo is saying Katrina made a lot of sense with what she said, honestly, right? Okay, now, when Wathoni started, Wathoni said, you know what, I mean, she feels that, also stated clearly that he was liking Nengi romantically, and of course he just needed Dorathy as a very good friend. Now, let me now clear. If you watched the video yesterday, Dorathy did not talk when Wathoni was saying a word. After that, Ibuka now asked Dorathy to speak. And while Dorathy was speaking, Wathoni tried interrupting Dorathy, and Dorathy was having none of it at all. Dorathy had none of it at all. And see, in the real sense, so yesterday, after the whole stuff, I went online and I went to Brighto's page, right? And I saw comments and I saw how people were hailing Brighto. So now let me tell you this. Right here in the house, I feel that this issue has started from the house between Dorathy and Wathoni, because Dorathy liked Brighto. Wathoni also liked Brighto, but Wathoni was the first person who started liking Brighto because she felt that Brighto was a free bird. So since you know, everybody was already getting themselves, you know, paired and paired, she just needed somebody who was going to be in her space. And of course, she had, you know, pitched her tent with Brighto. Then just all of a sudden, we found out that Dorathy also tried pitching her tent with Brighto. And on a particular night, Dorathy and Wathoni said, okay, I'm going to go spend, what Dorathy said, I'm going to go spend some time with Brighto's bed. If it doesn't drive me away, then that means he wants me. You get what I'm talking about? I really cannot remember that part. But in the long run, yesterday just showed that this bitterness or this feud they've had over time from the house had not finished. So she did not want Wathoni to interrupt her. I think what she didn't want Wathoni to say was the blowjob part. If you watched the video yesterday very well, you know, Wathoni said you gave a housemate a blowjob. The housemate that Dorathy gave a blowjob was actually Brighto. And that's confirmed gist. Trust me, I have confirmed full gist. The housemate that Dorathy gave a blowjob to was Brighto. Because in the long run, we didn't see that part. I mean, the Big Brother cameras did not necessarily show us what happened in the house that night. I remember the night when Dorathy slept in Brighto's bed. And of course, you know, they hugged and all of that. They covered themselves and all of that. And that was the reason why Dorathy had an outburst, right? Apart from that, I also feel that Dorathy really tried showing her real self. Most of the time, Dorathy was conscious of the camera in the house, right? And I feel that Dorathy really showed her real self yesterday, because yesterday, the attitude of Dorathy was something else. I understand the fact that you don't want somebody probably to spill a secret or whatever it is, but really, that attitude that I saw in Dorathy last night was something else, right? And so, after that, we had Katrina trying to expose the fact that also wanted a revenge. He wanted to make Nengi jealous. Because when Also got outside of the house, even me, I was irritated when Also was in the house. Also was always following Nengi. There was never an outstanding Also story that made him stand out. Everything that was surrounding Also was an issue between himself, Nengi, and Dorathy. The only time, even when he became the head of house, he was stuck in between, okay, should I pick Nengi? Should I pick Dorathy? When he picked Nengi, he had to go back to Dorathy and say, Dorathy, this is the reason why I didn't pick you. You get what I'm talking about? That was like the first time. And the second time, if you remember vividly, right? So for every time we found out that, and Also never had a standalone moment. He was either surrounded by, a Nengi factor, or he was always in a triangle that involved himself and Nengi. Yes, somebody says Dorathy is content, period, right? Okay, so I'm going to try to read some of your comments. And I said Katrina made a whole lot of sense yesterday with what she said. I think that Katrina was just trying to spill beans. I don't think that Katrina didn't have anything to gain from whatever she said yesterday. And that's understood. It's not like herself and Dorathy are like super best of friends. It is not like herself and Nengi are super best of friends. It's not like herself and Also are super best of friends. But what happened yesterday, I think that Katrina just wanted to, spice up the show. And she felt that, okay, I don't have airtime on that set. If it was going to be about Also, Nengi, and Dorathy, there was nothing I was going to say throughout that episode. Maybe she just wanted to talk. That's from my own personal view, right? Thank you very much, Oluwaseun, saying I'm doing a great job. Thank you. Wathoni spoke out. Did Wathoni speak out of bitterness? I don't know if Wathoni spoke out of bitterness because, well, maybe because I'm imagining that you get to your man's bed and you find out that the bed is wet. You get what I'm talking about? And you've wondered, oh, so this girl that I planned something with, she went to that bed and did something else. I mean, it is what it is, right? Dorathy gave it to Wathoni with the insult. It looked like she wanted to cry. Watching from Ghana. Thank you, Mr. Praji. Thank you. Nengi is very sharp. The two of them shared a lot of deep conversations. Of course, Nengi and Also shared a lot of deep conversations. And one thing I remember was the fact that, when they got out of the house, there was hardly any issue you would have heard about Also and Nengi. Maybe they had a clash or whatever it is. But somebody was asking me recently, just right now, that what is the current state of relationship between Also and Nengi? Should be told, they are not tight anymore. They're not necessarily tight. I can confirm gist, right? If I give you a gist here, you can be sure it's authentic. They're not necessarily tight like they used to be, and that's the honest truth, right? But that being said, Also and Nengi were mature about their conversations. There was never a time, you will never find somebody, not even Dorathy, could really break their relationship per se outside of the house, right? Also's background also comes from a very fantastic family. That is a question from Gift 39 Ibijule. Also comes from a very fantastic family. He's from a well-to-do family. He has from Enugu State precisely, but also has moved to Lagos, and also he's doing fantastically well, I can tell you for sure. Also is the brand ambassador for Juventus Football Club. Also has a radio show on Brila FM here in Lagos. Also has a show with Budweiser, right? And also he's also trying to acquire something. I'm not going to tell you what it is, right? But also is vested full-time in sports. While he was in the house, he spoke a lot about sports development and all of that. And also is really vested in sports at the moment. When he unveils that project, I will be the first to let you know, right? But also he's doing amazingly well. Also has acquired properties. I'm just telling you stuff that you need to know in this Lagos. All right, so that's by the way. Katrina is right, and that is what I saw. Yes, I remember that also was in Katrina's room the day of the all-white party. So whatever Katrina was talking about, she was very correct. Also, I saw a video of Also in Katrina's room, and for me, it looks like Katrina already started playing. I feel the Katrina. Don't get me wrong, you can have a different opinion. I feel the Katrina probably low-key liked Also. Don't get me wrong, it's what I think I saw from the video. because that script of trying to get Nengi jealous was probably started playing before even the party, because from the video, the Instagram story video they posted, it showed that, you know, she was all being sensual and saying, Ozzy is here, you know. I mean, it wasn't like Nengi had her phone in the house where she could see what she was doing, also, or whatever it was. But she was kind of being sensual, you know, with Ozzy and all of that. And the way they danced that night, guys, for one, I felt that Ozzy and Katrina probably had sex that night. I'm not sure whatever it was. But of course, we heard that Praise also came to Katrina's room and found also in the room. But you can be sure right now that Praise and Katrina do not have anything together, because we watched it yesterday. Praise was trying to confirm the fact that also was in Katrina's room. And he was also saying that he doesn't care about Katrina. And Katrina also said, I don't care about you either, right? So that was what he was actually. Dora's attitude yesterday just showed she had nothing to lose. Obviously, Dora's attitude, she had nothing to lose from the conversation, right? So let me tell you, Dora is somebody who doesn't give a damn. Dora is a very bold girl, right? She's not somebody who cares about whatever he's saying. I mean, after Wathoni said the stuff about the blowjob yesterday, I mean, the game still went on. She didn't stand up. She didn't talk about anything. She didn't even talk about the blowjob. That's your business. I mean, she said whatever when Wathoni said he gave someone a blowjob in the house. She said whatever. So that's to tell you the kind of person Dorathy is. If you like, go and show her tape outside. She doesn't send you, right? Thank you so much, Laura. Love from Cameroon. Thank you. Somebody said, Inilo said, even if Wathoni spoke out of bitterness, that's the point of the reunion. Honestly, so somebody said, I told you that the opening show that you watched, the first episode, the welcome part that you watched, was filmed on the final day. And that's the honest truth. What you watched as the first episode was filmed on the final day. Confirmed. All right. So they literally acted that opening show well. Now, spot it. Erika was not at the opening show. Kaisha was not there. That opening montage, the first day we watched, was shot after all the episodes were shot. And that was why we didn't find Erika there. Erika was probably busy. She didn't show up. I think Erika showed up for only one of the episodes or two, if I'm not mistaken. And that was the only time she showed up. But for Kaisha was already injured from the fight she had with Lucy. There was really a real one. I mean, a real one. She had an issue with Lucy. And that was why Kaisha did not show up on set for that opening show. But kudos to all the housemates. They acted it like it was the first time they were seeing, especially Neil saying, oh, I'm excited, I want to see. I'm like, yo, you guys can really act, man. So please, if you're watching this video, I need you to like this video. Please do, right? I'm literally going to attend to all of everything you're saying here. Good. Katrina and the bastard. This person is obviously Nigerian. Great guy. Kilaribo Life, thank you so much. That's my friend from Brazil. All right. But Dorathy did not sleep on Brighto's bed that day. It doesn't take, what does it mean to sleep on the bed? There's no amount of hours. It's when you say somebody slept on the bed, it doesn't mean sleep is defined by the number of hours. I could be in your bed for 1 hour and do whatever I want to do in 1 hour. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, but she was in Brighto's bed that night, right? And Wathoni did not eventually go to that bed that night, I can tell you for sure. I mean, I vlogged about it, so I can tell you that for sure. The essence of the reunion was to bring their issues up together. So I think one of the things that this housemate did was what they told them. Now, let me tell you, the officials from, what you call it, of the multi-choice literally had to thank our housemates, telling them that they did a good job. They brought a fantastic show that in the history of all the Big Brother reunion and Big Brother show, they had the maddest content. And I can for sure tell you that these guys brought fantastic show our way. Honestly, this reunion, I can promise you on Monday will be hotter, right? There's going to be an issue between Tolani Badge and and Prince, the one for Monday, right? Good. Thanks for those who are liking the video. Thank you so much. Dorathy na mumu you be. Oh, well, that's what it is. Dorathy is so hot because Otterton had down for Nengi. Would I say Dorathy is hot because Otterton had down for Nengi? It's everybody is. I think that also had his part to play in that. Dorathy also had her parts to play in that. Now, the problem was that most of them did not still realize that some housemates will get out of the house and still see videos of what she said. Because when you get into the house, you're on call, you don't even know when the camera is watching. You don't know whether you're being recorded at a particular moment. So all that happened was the fact that everybody was just saying their own. So when Nengi got out of the house and found out that, Dorathy said bad things about her, that was what strained. I mean, she was like, Dorathy, just do your day and I'm going to be on my own. And that was what happened. So I feel that also had a part to play in this whole issue that happened. And I also think that Dorathy had a little part to play, right? But of course, I'm not going to literally blame Dorathy. I feel that Ozo is to be blamed here because Ozo was always going back and forth. And in the long run, Dorathy was tired of him. Nengi was tired of him. So I think the main response, and even Ozo took responsibility for the fact that he caused the issue that happened between himself and Nengi and, of course, Dorathy. So it's what it is, right? Love the way you talk, and thank you so much. Veyron World, thank you very much. From Senegal, thank you very much. Katrina said the truth. Well, the true love is there is Dorathy. She truly loves Ozo, and Dorathy will be the best choice for Ozo. So there's something about this person is saying, Alvin is saying Dorathy will be the best choice for Ozo. I don't think so. Ozo knows what he wants, and from day one, he went for it. I think we should also give it to Ozo, because regardless of how everything turned out for him with Nengi, he's still stuck with the fact that this is what I want, and I think people should have that, that kind of attitude. But you're saying that Dorathy will be good for Ozo. I doubt it, because Ozo likes curvy girls. Dorathy is not curvy. Dorathy is busty. Ozo likes curvy girls. That's it. So Dorathy, I'm sorry, she's not curvy, and I think Ozo likes light-skinned girls. So it's what it is, right? Thank you very much, Doris. Thank you. Katrina overblew it, but I know Katrina and Ozo had a conversation. Yes, I think Katrina overblew it. Yes, because all she needed to do was just talk and leave the rest. But she was just saying, "Can you allow me to talk?" She was really, really. I think maybe I'm thinking, I might be wrong. Maybe Katrina and Ozo kissed. Maybe something happened, and Katrina wanted to be the first person to say, "Let me first attack." So it covers up by the time I mess this thing up, it covers up whatever probably happened. You get what I'm talking about? I don't know what was Katrina's interest in that story, but I mean, she took it really far. She took it quite far, and I don't know what it was, right? Katrina felt used by Ozo because Ozo followed her after the. Oh, somebody's giving us a gist here. Stella Nana said Katrina felt used by Ozo because Ozo followed her. That means that there was something that transpired maybe between Ozo and Katrina. And, after maybe Ozo didn't fulfill his part of the bargain, I don't know whatever it was, but after that, Ozo just unfollowed and Katrina felt hurt, like, oh, you think you can use me and dump me? And that's how these things work, right? So maybe that was what it was. I'm still going to check if Ozo is really following Katrina or not, right? Somebody said, I don't think Katrina is saying the truth, but I don't think Katrina is lying, because yesterday Ozo never specifically said that Katrina was lying, because the truth is Prince saw Ozo in Katrina's room, and for what Katrina said, Ozo said, I mean, he didn't blatantly deny what Katrina was saying. He was just trying to say that this was what he said, this wasn't what he said, and all of that, right? Ozo had a huge part. Thank you very much, Adeyelu Adiola. Thank you. Also had a huge part to play because yes, of course, also had a huge part to play. We all know that for sure. Dorathy liked Prince from the onset. Did Dorathy like Prince from the onset? I need you guys to help me. I don't think Dorathy liked Prince. If you say Dorathy liked Prince from the onset, she didn't like him romantically. She probably liked him as a friend. They were just besties, right? And what happened? If you watched the day Prince was going to be evicted from the show, we saw how that she came to hug Prince from behind. Right? And for us, it was friendship goals. And I don't know if Prince spoke about Dorathy when he was being interviewed by Ebuka, but I don't think that Dorathy liked Prince romantically from the beginning. I don't think that's correct, right? They want to spoil Ozonship, but they fail with the agenda. Well, as it stands, it doesn't look like Ozonship is very strong at the moment. I'm just telling you the honest truth. It doesn't look like the Ozonship is very strong at the moment. So it is what it is, right? Great. Dorathy was deeply in love with who? Spark X. Who was Dorathy deeply in love with? Ozo is to be blamed. Yes, we know that Ozo is to be blamed. Thank you, Vero Chef, watching from France. Thank you very much. Ozo didn't take responsibility. He did. I have a video of that. Ozo took responsibility for what happened yesterday. Yes, he did. Thank you for the way you analyze your gist. Thank you so much, Texas Lifestyle. Luis says Katrina had an agenda against Nengi. Did Katrina have an agenda against Nengi? I don't think there's been an issue between Katrina and Nengi. Not directly and neither have I seen anything indirectly. I do not think that Katrina had an issue against Nengi, and so I don't know where that is coming from, right? I don't know where that's come from. Thank you so much, Found Your Preach today. This is the second video I'm watching, and I love your critical. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Also took responsibility. Yes, it did. Prince is good for Dorathy, right? Well, but as it stands right now, Prince and Dorathy are not on good terms. Of course, they went to what you call it. They went to they went to gather together based on the fact that they are both brand ambassadors for a particular brand, right? But for those of you who are saying that also need to take responsibility, well, maybe I might have to go back to watch the video. I mean, I might also be wrong, right? Okay, so I'll just check that once I'm done with this. Katrina has something against Nengi for real. It wasn't necessarily all the stuff she did. Nobody asked her. Katrina was definitely saying the truth, but it wasn't her part to say those. Binta, you're very correct. I don't think it was Katrina's business to talk about what happened. It was, she had no part to play in all of this. What I think Katrina wanted to do was, you know, maybe she liked Ozo at some point and she couldn't get Ozo. Maybe, right? But she didn't have anything to gain, literally, from all the things she said yesterday. And in these words it is, right? Dorathy never loved Prince from the onset. You're very correct. Yes, it started almost when Prince was evicted. Dorathy never loved Prince from the onset, right? It was towards the end, towards the time when Prince was evicted, that we began to see that, oh, something was going to probably brew in between these ones, but it started as a best friend, whatever thingy and all of that, right? I don't seem to understand why Dorathy is bringing Prince into the equation now. The only vibe later on is she introducing Prince to make the I don't have feelings for also more believable. See, yesterday, Dorathy lied. Of everything that Dorathy said yesterday, there was one lie she made. Every other thing Dorathy said was true. But the only lie she gave us, the only lamba, like we call it in Nigeria, that she gave us was the fact that she said she liked Prince at that point. We watched the show, except she liked him and she wasn't telling us or we weren't hearing it because, and maybe she liked him and she didn't show it. But from what we saw, she never liked Prince from the beginning. It was more like she was neutral. At some point, she was even liking Licon. There was a point herself and Licon slept in the same bed, and that's the truth. So I think that she was just everywhere. She was with Ozo, she was with Prince, she was with Licon, and eventually she ended up in Brighton's bed with the whole blowjob thingy, right? And it is what it is, right? So you're doing a good work. Thank you very much, Samuel. You were to saying. Dorathy told Ozo on the first week. The question is, okay, I can read this one. Dorathy only liked Prince as for brother and sister. That's the truth. Dorathy only liked Prince as for brother and sister relationship. Now, what I deduced from yesterday's reunion, the one that showed yesterday, was the fact that Wathoni is still bitter about the fact that Dorathy gave Brighto a blowjob. That's honest truth. I don't know if there are still underlying issues, but as it stands right now, in fact, let me give you a gist. While they were backstage, so if I give you a gist as confirmed, while they were backstage, Praise and Tochi had a fight. And what was the fight about? So I think that one of them had polished his shoe, right, in the room, and the other person, maybe it was Tochi that polished his shoe, and Praise now brought his shoe and put it on Tochi's shoe. And when he put it on Tochi's shoe, they then when we Praise now, Tochi now said, "Why are you putting the stuff on my shoe?" And that was how Praise said, and your papa was talking about his father, and that was how the fight started. So one carried the chair and was trying to hit it on the other one, but eventually they settled. So there was a lot going on even behind the scene before they even got on set. Now, Wathoni was really bitter about the fact that Dorathy, she had an agreement with Dorathy, go and stay in this guy's bed for a while, and I'll come back. If he doesn't push you, that means he likes you and doesn't like me. And whatever, and Dorathy said she was going to leave the bed, but eventually Dorathy slept in that bed, and what it was. So there was a bitter rivalry going on between Dorathy and Wathoni, and that rivalry has not ended till now. That's point one. Point two, we do not know what Katrina's business was in the issue that involved Ozo, Nengi, and Dorathy. Maybe she was trying to side Dorathy, I don't know. But as it stands, we know that she doesn't have any link with Nengi. Neither does she have any link with Ozo, except for the whole plan they had to get Nengi jealous, right? So I'm still reading your comments. Dora didn't like Ozo romantically after she realized Ozo had already with love with Nengi. Of course, you're correct. Dorathy liked Prince from the onset. She didn't show it. Okay? The housemate just made Nengi feel the most beautiful lady, but no, that was why Nengi was feeling she was hot. Well, it's what it is, right? And trust me, Nengi is flashy and she looks good. She's beautiful. And that's honest truth, right? And apart from Nengi, who was also a fine girl in that house. I think that Erica's a fine girl. Erica's a beautiful girl. Yes. Another person who was fine, Lilo. Guys, have you seen Lilo? I have met Lilo one-on-one. I've met Nengi one-on-one. These girls are clean. I mean, they're fine. I'm telling you the honest truth, right? So, Nengi, fine girl. Lilo, fine girl. Erica looks good, right? Okay, Nengi is a very nice person. Okay, I mean, somebody said when they came to Ghana. Stella said when Prince and Dorathy came to Ghana, they would find like nothing. Obviously, you have to act the part. You guys are being paid as a brand, so I mean, we'll come and say act like nothing is happening, and when we're going back, that's what it is. The first time they went to Kenya, a lot of secrets had not opened like this. They had not done the reunion when Dorathy and Prince went to Kenya. But after that, when they came back and they did the reunion, that was when we started realizing that a lot of things had gone down. Thank you very much, Rosby. I'm waiting for V Tolani Badge drama. See, what I'm waiting for the V and Tolani Badge drama, right? It's going to be crazy because they'll be crazy on the ground. Because V said, I accept. She accepts she's a witch. Whatever it is, she accepts. She's even said it in Yoruba that she accepts that she's a witch and all of that, and that she's very bitter. Now, I want to know how that affected V, because I don't think V had an issue with Tolani Badge, but how that's linked up, I don't know, and I'm waiting for that to unfold. Nengi just wanted a friendship, not a relationship. You're right about the Lekon part. Remember when she woke up at night and was stroking Lekon's face and hair? Yes. So now, Dorathy is trying to play a defensive game. She has seen all the videos of what she did. Now that's the problem. When you go for a Big Brother, for those of you who are watching me and you've probably been called to go for Big Brother. Big Brother is starting in July, by the way, right? Immediately after the reunion, Big Brother starts in July. So if you go for Big Brother, know that whatever you're saying is being recorded. That's the honest truth. If you go for Big Brother, know whatever you're saying is being recorded. People are watching you. So Dorathy was in Brighto's bed. She was in Lekon's bed. Who else was she trying to get to? Prince. Who else was she trying to get to? Awesome. Now, there was a particular night that, some people say Conjina Bastard, and that's the honest truth. Nobody was really giving attention to Dorathy. There was no guy who was even looking in that direction. And you would not necessarily blame her, because as a lady, you want to give him attention, and that was what Nengi was looking for. And Nengi got the attention. In fact, Nengi had the luxury of leaving one guy and facing another guy. So when Ozo wasn't talking to her, she was with Prince. When she had an issue with Prince, she went back to Ozo. I mean, when she had issue with Prince and Ozo, she went to Lekon. I mean, Lekon had enough time grabbing her backside during all the parties. So there was never a time that Nengi lacked attention from the guys in the house, especially during the pool parties and all of that. But Dorathy didn't have that attention. The person that could have given her that attention was Ozo, but Ozo wasn't liking her romantically. So all she needed to do was, okay, if what I would can come to me, I may just have to go look up whoever is available. And at that point, it was clear that Lekon and Erica weren't going to work out. So all that happened was, she just went to Lekon's bed and started stroking his beard. I remember vividly, in the middle of the night, she was stroking his beard and his hair, and I was like, yo, what's going to happen? But I knew that Lekon was going to do anything with her, by the way, right? So Dorathy told also on the first week that Prince was his spec. Well, I don't remember. You might be very correct. I think the only real person in the house is Nengi. Nengi was very real. Even though we don't know who the real guy outside was, she was trying to tell us that she had a relationship outside of the house. But in the real sense, I personally don't think she had somebody outside of the house. I don't know how correct that was, right? Let's be sincere. Dorathy never liked Prince in the house. She just lied yesterday. She lied. And I'm telling you that. For those of you who think that, Dorathy liked Prince from the onset, maybe she told Ibuka. I don't know that was. Maybe that was reverse psychology or whatever it was. But she didn't like Prince in the house. I'm telling you the honest truth. I think that when Prince knew that himself and Tolani Badge did not work out, Prince and Tolani Badge broke up in the house after he could not get Nengi. He eventually came back to Tolani Badge in the middle of the night. They were talking in the garden, and they were saying, okay, I like you, blah, blah, blah. And they started. In fact, there was a particular night that Tolani Badge wanted to get down with Prince. She was really touching Prince and rubbing him. And Prince was an Igbo guy that he didn't want to mess up his family name on TV. So he just stood up from the bed and all of that. And at some point, He wasn't forthcoming. It felt like Tolin Badge was the only person who was walking the relationship. And they just said, you know what? They actually broke up on couch in the living room. I remember vividly where they were lying out like, okay, let's be friends. And that was what it is exactly, right? So the writer lied about the fact that she liked Prince on that. That was a lie. That was a really, real lie, right? Wathoni is still mad at Dora over Brighto. Obviously, Wathoni is still mad at Dorathy over Brighto. When Dorathy and Brighto came out, when Brighto and Wathoni came out of the house, it felt like they were going to work out. They were even doing some couple thingy, media rounds, couple style, but eventually it didn't work out with them, right? I think Dora wanted to be a good girl and eventually couldn't play that role for too long. Saying you don't have feelings for Ozo from then to now, I mean, the consent doesn't make it true. You're very correct. Nengi is just a babe, so cool, of course. Katrina did have an agenda against Nengi. She always backbite Nengi in the house. But what was she going to stand to gain if she was backbiting Nengi? Nengi never had Katrina's time. Katrina didn't stay in the house for more than 2 weeks. In fact, the first person that got evicted, after the first week, they spent the first week in the house, there was no eviction. The second week that they spent, Lilo got evicted. The next was Katrina. And after that, Nengi made it to the final. So Nengi still had 8 weeks without contact with Katrina. So I do not know whatever it was. And I do not think that at any point Nengi spoke ill or evil about Katrina. So it is what it is, by the way. You have people that will hear something about you and they'll start fighting you. They don't even know your side of the story. I think that was what was playing with Katrina. And I also think Katrina is a clout chaser, by the way. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I have a lot of people watching this video. Please like this video. I beg of you. I beg. Like this video. Thank you. Dorathy was totally uncultured reacting to Wathoni. Yes, she was using so much of the F word. She was using so much of the, B word, the F word, and all of that. That was, I never saw Dorathy in that light. Thank you so much for all the people liking this video. Thank you. I never saw Dorathy in that light of somebody who could sit down and, call somebody a whatever it was. And she was using the F word consistently. And everybody was just like, yo, is this the right? I was shocked personally. You get my point? If she had an outburst against Ozo, it was fine. You understand? If she had an outburst against Wathoni, well, fine, because of Brighto. But using the F word consistently was a problem. And that was what it was, right? Think about Katrina's tweet post house. When Nengi said Blueprint, Katrina called herself Black Prince. I don't remember that, by the way. You might be correct, Muriu. Nengi is a beautiful woman with a great body, plus Nengi is a bi. Is bi flat? I don't think Nengi is bi. You can say she's a flat. Well, the lady knows what she wants. The truth is you can't pretend for too long in the house. So, I think that for Dorathy, Dorathy was the center of this conversation right yesterday. Dorathy at some point was looking at the cameras in the house. So let me tell you how the cameras in that house work. From what I found out, the cameras are robot cameras. And when the camera moves, you will hear how the camera is moving. It will go, it makes a sound when it moves. So when it moves, you know that the camera is facing you. Apart from the fact that they had robot cameras, there were other cameras outside of the glasses. So when you stay in the living room area, if you watch the show very well, you realize that there's a mirror, like there's a glass window in front of the sink where you wash. But the truth be told, there's a camera at the back of that mirror that faces the sink where you wash. So when you look at it, you feel like you're just looking at yourself in the mirror, but you're looking directly into the camera. So when you found out that there are a lot of windows, they'll tell them, don't open the windows. You don't have the right to communicate with any member of the production team. So what we had was a lot of cameras penetrating through the windows, but you will not see them because they've made the mirrors, you can see through them. They felt like the glasses, you cannot see through them. They felt like mirrors. And apart from that, Dorathy was very conscious of the robot cameras in the house. And that was why sometimes you see her look at the cameras. You get what I'm talking about. But the truth is, you cannot hide for too long. So for Dorathy, it took time. Dorathy is that kind of girl, hey, if you don't have my time, I'll go to somewhere else. So she tried it also, it didn't work out. I think for Prince, if Prince stayed like a week more in the house, maybe Dorathy and Prince would have had a romantic relationship. But as at that point, it was what it is. She was trying to be cautious of what she said over time, but after a while, she lose guard and all of that, right? So, also backstage discussion with Kasha and Lilo about begging Katrina to help her make Nengi jealous, right? Of course. I'm spot on, thank you. Dorathy is playing a defensive game, like I said. She knew that, see, everybody wants to be at a reunion. But Dorathy knew that there was going to be a lot from all the videos she has seen online. A lot was going to happen. And obviously, she was not necessarily in good terms with most people. Maybe the only people she's in good terms with are Katrina and maybe Lucy, right? But apart from that, I don't know. K7 also don't speak right now. They're not on talking terms, right? Nengi also still speak, but the ozone ship is sinking. It's probably halfway down the sea, right? I can tell you for a fact. So for those of you who love, I like it. So a lot of times I need you guys to always be, face reality. When they say something sinking, it's sinking. You can't help it. Your 1,000, no matter how much you feel for them and all of that, it takes two people for a relationship to work. If it's not working, you guys are not in a relationship. So that's what ozone fans. I mean, as it stands, it's not literally working between them, right? I think Katrina doesn't like the fact that Nengi is taking over her self-acclaimed boss. This is another angle. But I do not think that Nengi is not calling herself a boss. I mean, yes, we remember the boss lady issue that happened between Katrina and T-Boss of the other set of BBNaija. That was a Beyonce set and, Bisola set and Ife set. There was an issue about boss lady. Nengi never got into a boss lady issue, but of course, Nengi is probably, Katrina is doing well. Nengi is doing well. Let's not bring both of them together. I think they're doing well for themselves. So that's what I think, right? Okay, Stella says I should check that she liked Prince romantically. Okay, Stella, if she liked Prince romantically, why didn't she show it? I mean, if she liked Prince romantically, well, it's what it is. She didn't show it. We didn't see it. She ended up with Brighto at some point. She went to Lekon at some point. It was on the final week that Prince was leaving that she was, showing the fact that she was liking Prince and maybe they were going to be friends, whatever it was. Yes, somebody said, how are you so sure that Dorathy never liked Prince in the house? Well, she didn't show us. Seeing is believing. What we saw is what we talk about. Did she show that she liked Prince romantically in the house? No. You can say something and don't show it. I can tell you I love you and not show it. You can tell somebody you love them and not show it. So did she show Prince that she liked Prince romantically in the house? No. Who was Prince in the house romantically with? Tolini Baj and Nengi. And that was what it was, right? So all the lockdown girls in the house are beautiful, of course. Please, what about the BJ of Dora and Brighto? So, from the gist I heard, let me tell you. So, Wathoni got back to Brighto's bed that night and found out that the bed was wet. Right? And maybe, I'm just saying, what she saw. I mean, Dorathy did not deny it. Dorathy said whatever when Wathoni said he gave somebody a blowjob in the house. And it was Brighto. So, for those of you, yesterday, Brighto, after the whole reunion, Brighto posted a picture. And I saw a lot of people hating him, saying Lord Baelish, they were laughing, praise was saying that mine. So it was, apart from the gist, I confirmed gist. Brighto is also my guy, right? I mean, Brighto, I have one personal relationship with Brighto, right? So apart from that, you could also go to his comment section and see how people were hailing him because they literally knew that the only person that Dorathy would have given a blowjob to was Brighto, right? Prince knew Dorathy liked him romantically, but Dorathy said they should be friends. Okay. Dora's reaction to Wathoni's point yesterday made me see another side of Dora. Yes. That side of Dora we saw yesterday was a very bitter side. And the side that Dorathy showed us yesterday was a bitter side because how do you pile up all of that over time? But I think that it was a drama she wanted to bring. See, good publicity and bad publicity, everything is publicity, right? And for a reunion of that magnitude, you want to make sure that you are the center of a discussion, be it good or bad. And that's understood if you understand the way media works. So that was another side of Dorathy we saw. Nobody would have expected that Dorathy could be that kind of person, bitter. You get what I'm talking about? And it was always, so I like the fact that, Wathoni has evolved. Wathoni looked like a gorgeous woman. I'm not necessarily, but I think that Wathoni looked gorgeous yesterday. She had blossomed into, I don't think she had become mature. She had blossomed into a woman who was, really looking good. And I think she handled the situation quite well. She was like, she was handling it like a mom. You know what I'm talking about? So I think she handled it quite well. And Dorathy was behaving like a girl. That's what I think, right? That's why the fact that you don't like Katrina, I think she's sad because she didn't get to show who she really was. Okay, so from what this person said, Tess's lifestyle, I think that what happened was, after the scene with Praise and Katrina in bed, they blatantly denied the fact that they had intimate, whatever. I don't want to use the word. You know what I'm talking about, herself and Praise. We literally saw Katrina use her leg to pull her panties in bed that night when they were done. Herself and Praise were done, right? But this is the truth. After she left the house, that was what we saw. Till now, when you remember Katrina in the house, that was probably one of the most outstanding things she did in the house. Had the intimate time she had with Praise. And after that, you saw the fact that herself and Praise are no more into each other. And see, Praise is into somebody else at the moment. I'm not going to reveal that to you. But the truth is this, Lucy and Praise are also, they're just trying to get back. But the truth is just a surface level friendship. It's nothing deep. And that's honest truth. So maybe Nengi is living the dream of Katrina. We never can say, right? All of them were just pretending. They were not real. I don't know, but I think they came out to give us the best show yesterday. Dorathy needed so much attention, but still wants everyone to see her as a decent girl. That isn't. I never liked the way she was trying to stop my authorship. Well, it's what it is. She wanted the attention. Nengi got most of the attention in the house. Not even Erika got the attention. The attention Erika got was the attention of herself and Lekon. And it was because we were watching it from the outside. But Nengi, both inside and outside, got the from day one. We probably knew that Nengi was going to make it to the finals because she had this strong persona. Everybody kind of liked her, and because she was beautiful, she was never proud. She was the first head of house, and in her time, she ruled well. She really ruled well. So whatever it was, Nengi did absolutely amazing. You get what I'm talking about, and maybe Katrina felt like she wished she made it to the finals, but it was what it is, right? Let's give Dora some breathing space. That she was hurt emotionally. How was Dorathy hurt? I think that Dorathy just wasn't true to herself. That's what I would say. So when you find out that somebody is not liking you, give yourself respect and move. When somebody is not liking you romantically, all you need to do is bounce. So when also wasn't liking her romantically, even if she wanted a romantic relationship, all she needed to do was move. And the other way she painted herself, though it wasn't obvious, was the fact that she was in people's bed. At least two we know. She was in Brighto's bed and she was in Lekon's bed. Even if she was in Lekon's bed and didn't stroke Lekon, see, a little message on the house sends 1,001 signals. So she was stroking Lekon's bed and stroking Lekon's head. What if Lekon decided to give it to her that night? What if Lekon decided to get down with her that night? It would have been another story entirely, and that's honest truth. And that's by the way. She was deeply hurt. Why was she hurt? Who hurt her? The only way I see that Dorathy was the fact that she was advising Ozor, and Ozor was going back to Nengi, and was going back and forth. You get what I'm talking about? That's exactly what I think it was, right? Dorathy was real from the beginning. Well, okay. Baba, how would the gist of Erika not endorsing her mate's product? So somebody is saying, why is Erika not endorsing the housemate's product? Why is Erika not endorsing the products or the brands or the products that the housemates are putting out personally? Erika has every right not to endorse anybody's product. She's not under any obligation. She's not under any obligation to endorse anybody's product. Nobody's under any obligation to endorse anybody's products. If Erika decides that she's not going to give a shout out to Luciana's Grill, to Lucy's business, Luciana's Grill, she's not obligated to do that. It's not a problem. And that's the honest truth. We don't have to be emotional about some things. It is real life. So, who has endorsed the other person's product that we know in the real sense? Most of them are signed by, other brands. The only people that have personal brands in the house right now, Lucy has a grill. Katrina has a business, right? Lilo has Lilo's Clothing. And when you look at all of this, it doesn't look like Erika has a personal relationship with these people. And that's the honest truth. Now, let me give you an example. Tolani Baja started a delivery logistic business. Have you seen Erika post about it? Erika and Tolani Baja are presently in Kenya as we speak. They're having a vacation of their lives. But the honest truth is, Erika has not for once said that, my friend Tolani Baj has a T-Baj Express, a logistic business. Let me post to her. She's not obliged to do that. And let me also tell you, most of these people are now under management. Telling Batch has new management. Most of them cannot just post things. We have contracts they've signed. You cannot just wake up and say, you want to post something for your friend. You get what I'm talking about? So that is the reason why I think that Erika, number one, she's not obliged to post for anybody. Number two, she's under management and all of that. So honestly, okay, somebody said he prefers my view on this than what was seen on TV. Thank you very much. I thought Dora said she likes Brighto. Yes, Dora said she really liked Brighto, and that was why she was in Brighto's bed, and that was what led to the blowjob. Are we clear on that? Right? Prince knew Dorathy liked him romantically. I don't know about that. Whenever there was not enough time for Prince and Dorathy to show us their romantic story, right? If Prince spent one more night or one more week in that house, I'm sure that the relationship would have brewed between Dorathy and Prince. But, whatever it was. Somebody says Dorathy pretends a lot. Maybe. It takes two to tango. Yes, in Yelua. Dorathy pretends a lot. Somebody said women are so different. That's Louis Murillo. They hate each other for no other reason. Women are different. You will hardly see a guy, and this is not me. This is me not being biased. When you see a lady walk into a garden where there are other ladies, the next thing the ladies do is they look at the lady from head to toe. They have sized her. They have put her in a status, in a class, from head to toe. They've sized her from head to toe. When a guy enters a garden, the next thing he does is, Alpha bro, what's good, man? How you doing? And they all gel. And I feel that from what Louis is saying, maybe Katrina, maybe Katrina had something against Nengi. But I do not think there's a reason for that, right? Dorathy is deeply in love with Ozo. Well, as it stands, she's not in love with Ozo anymore. They are not on talking terms. Dorathy is a good and caring person, but her jealousy and holding of grudges just turns her into a very nasty person. Now, what Tuli Lamini just said is very correct. So you could be a nice person, but an attitude can make you look terrible. It's just like someone who has anger issues. Somebody who's very nice. Okay, let me not say anger issues. Let's talk about someone who is a drunkard. You could look very nice, but it's just that drunken habit that makes you look terrible. It is that anger issue that makes you look terrible. And that was what we saw in Dorathy yesterday. Dorathy looked all glammed up. She looked so beautiful. Dorathy looked beautiful. She looked fresh. She looked like the opposite of what she looked like in the house. But you see the attitude she gave up yesterday, it was a repelling attitude. It was an appalling attitude. It was really something that would repel you. You get what I'm talking about? Against a fellow woman of yours, right? Even though you guys had your issues, there was another way for the issue to be handled. You get what I'm talking about? Okay. Nengi is still very young now. She needs time to get herself set up before marriage. And that's the honest truth. So if the ozone relationship is not working at the moment, Nengi is just 23. Maybe she's 24 already. I don't know, but 23, 24. Now, what do you expect of a girl who is just less than a year out of the house, is doing big, has a house, has a car, is signing deals? The next thing on her mind is not marriage. It's not probably a serious relationship. There are 1,001 guys, men who have money who are in her DMs. There are people who are sending guys to say, I like that girl. Can I even have her in my bed for a night? And you're offering thousands of dollars for that. So the next thing she's looking for is not a relationship. What she's looking for is to make the money. It's how to secure the bag, like they would say. So it wasn't a relationship on ozone. Forget about how you guys feel about the ozone ship. Another big brother will start right now, and most of you will likely forget. Most of you will start clamoring for another set of housemates. You would have forgotten about what happened. What happened to Ike and Mercy? Haven't you guys forgotten about them? What happened to what's her name again? Elozonam and this other lady. I've forgotten her name right now. They had a ship. What happened to them? Diane. Elozonam and Diane. In the long run, the ship sank and everybody has moved on. You get what I'm talking about? So what I'm saying is this. No matter how you guys feel for these people, it takes two to tango. It takes two people to make a relationship work. And if it's not working, let's not force what's not working, right? Nengi never liked Ozo. So if the relationship is sinking, it's not what she wanted. Well, she started liking Ozo at some point after they left the show. You get it, but maybe it didn't last, right? What was Katrina's problem? Spinning out all those things. Like I said, I think Katrina didn't have a business in that conversation. Katrina is a clout chaser from everything we've picked over time with her. And she just wanted to spoil that conversation. She wanted to make sure that the dirty secrets of Ozo were brought out, and she achieved that last night. And you guess what? It wasn't her show. It wasn't that issue that was being discussed, but she had more airtime. On the show, it was a 1 hour show, and Katrina had more airtime than even some of the people that they were talking about. Katrina had more airtime than Nengi, who they were talking about, and that's amazing. I mean, it was probably a strategy. All right. Mary Bruce, well, I relate to these people and I know what I'm talking about. Thank you. It's obvious Nengi likes kids. That one I can't say right now. Prince and Dorathy. The issue between Prince and Dorathy, we've just watched 2 episodes of the show. From what I found out, there were a lot of triangles with Prince, Dorathy. I heard Lilo in the conversation. I am not sure, but I'm going to wait for that episode to show. I heard Prince had something to do with Lilo. I'm not sure. I heard. It's an unconfirmed report. And it was shocking because guess what? After the house, Dorathy and Lilo were very close. I mean, they went to the parties together. They were always drinking at the clubs. They always went to have fun together. Now, how did Lilo get into the mix of Prince, Dorathy, and all of that? I don't know how true that is. But of course, we're going to watch that over time. Katrina definitely has major issues with Nengi. Okay, Katrina is a cloud chaser, of course. Thomas, Dorathy is not real. She really looks pretty today. My social media handle is at the Femi Daniel, at the Femi Daniel, THEFEMIDNIEL, right? Dorathy is not real. She looked pain. What's your screaming down? No, thank you. Dorathy didn't show any bitterness. She was being real. She didn't show or say she liked Prince until later when she kept saying bestie. Of course, Dorathy was, Prince's bestie over time, right? Do you think what Prince said to me was cool about money? So yesterday, Prince talked about the fact that Neo was telling him that anybody who was going to get Nengi needed to have some facilities. And what was the facilities he was talking about? He was talking about money, a car, and all of that. Now, what Neo said to Prince was cool. It's a normal guy banter. When you see a girl that's so fine, you know that you can't be checking on your leg to get this kind of girl. Looking at the Nengi, you should know that a Nengi kind of girl, you must have money to be able to get her. She might not necessarily be enticed by the money, but there's something about ladies when you're financially capable. It's a sense of security. Some girls don't need your money, but they just feel secure knowing the fact that this guy has got funds. So even if anything happens, it's fine. Somebody like a Nengi, you can't say you want to take out and carry her in. You have to order a ride to carry her out. You must have your own, machine or your car, whatever it was. When I mean machine, I don't mean a bike. I mean a good car, right? So, but what Nengi said to Prince was cool, honestly. And that was what it was. I mean, it wasn't anything bad. But what Prince said to Ozo was bad. Prince was saying maybe because Ozo wasn't financially capable. And that was why Ozo was telling him that a king Kong doesn't have to talk before they know he's a king, right? So Dora was only being human. Well, of course, maybe, yeah, she was only being human, but she went too far when she was trying to address the issue. Katrina is bitter because then you got all the attention watching. Yeah, I mean, Katrina played herself. I think that the scene that happened between Katrina and Praise got Katrina evicted from the show because people were angry. Like, you just finished, you're just 2 weeks into the house and you're already having something in bed with Praise. And that was what it was, exactly. So I think that it was the issue that happened between herself and Praise that got her out of the house so quick. For Lilo didn't have enough airtime. She was just with Eric. She didn't have enough airtime to show herself what she was capable of doing. I mean, you're a dietitian. You didn't even have time to talk. There was no screen time for Lilo. So people were like, you're just wasting our screen time. Let the people that have the show, let them give us a show. So get out of the house, right? And that was what it is. Wathoni was interrupting, of course. Also really messed up yesterday. Of course, yes, also responsible for all of this. Erica was the most talked about. She carried the show. Yesterday's episode was not about Erica. I don't think Erica was mentioned once during the reunion episode of yesterday, right? So when Erica is talked about, we get that. Dorathy was true to herself. Okay, Dorathy moved. Dorathy showed her true self yesterday. Dorathy hurt herself because she wasn't real. Dorathy doesn't know what she wants. She was busy jumping from one available person to the other. You will not, the Dorathy we know right now. Let's not judge the Dorathy we know right now with the Dorathy that was in the house. Because she probably didn't even know that she was, every move she made was being watched. But of course, you should even know. So the Dorathy outside right now is trying to defend her personality. She's trying, you know what they call damage control. That's what she's trying to do. But she couldn't even handle the damage control because Wathoni had already spilled the beans already, right? So what she was trying to do was she was trying to, do a damage control. Well, we didn't hear the whole issue about Lekon. I don't know if you guys are going to get to the issue of Lekon and Dorathy later, but as of yesterday, the damage control could not be handled because Wathoni had already spilled the beans. You know what I'm talking about? Dorathy was real. Dorathy, we know that you also responsible for the singing of his own ship. Okay, if you say also he's responsible, he's also really responsible. Also wants a serious relationship. I'm telling you, confirmed gist. Also wants a serious relationship. What's her name again? Nengi is not necessarily ready for a serious relationship. And even if Nengi says she's ready, as a guy who looks at your girl, Nengi is an industry girl. And when I mean an industry girl, I mean she's a girl that has Davido's number, has artist celebrities' number that will call her. These guys are probably richer than also. And she will go. She did something with Brashagi recently. Obviously, she gets paid for it. She goes on location. She has to be lodged. She has to travel. She has to fly out. So what are we talking about? As a guy, you literally be jealous, right? And it is what it is. Somebody said Dorathy has never been real. Also responsible for the sinking of a ship. Okay. You love Nengi. Of course, we love Nengi. The conversation was about Wathoni. No one asked her for her opinion. She was just interrupting Dora. I think that what Wathoni wanted to do yesterday was it wasn't necessarily a conversation, but she was trying to attack Dorathy because of Brighto. I think Wathoni also still bitter about the fact that Dorathy had something to do with Brighto, and that's the honest truth, right? So she coming into the conversation was maybe trying to get back at Dorathy, which she successfully did because she eventually spilled the blowjob issue. Stella said, every fair girl is beautiful. Is every fair girl beautiful? I'll leave it to that. I don't think so. In my opinion, the realest, I know Lua said, in my opinion, the realest housemate was Nengi V, Neo, Lekon, and Lucy. Lucy was very real. Lucy was a real, I began to see the fact that Lucy was beautiful after, like a few days before she left the house. She started dressing so hot. So after Katrina left the house, we began to see that Lucy began to change. She began to look so good. She started exposing some part of her body, her thighs. I'm like, yo, so Lucy is this clean, man. But there was the night before she got evicted. There was this sensual dance she had with Praise. And Loki just, let me leave that out. I'm going to give it just later. Okay, so Brown Skin Girls Rock. Of course, Brown Skin Girls Rock. Dorathy was looking really beautiful. Dorathy was looking really beautiful yesterday, except for the attitude. Megaton, Edosa, I am fine. Praise's current love interest. Praise doesn't have any love interest at the moment. In that house, Praise does not have any love interest at the moment. Lilo is not dating Prince. Someone said I should keep them. Is it Prince you said or Praise? Praise's love. Okay, Praise's love interest. Oh, sorry, I thought it was Prince. Praise's love interest at the moment. Okay, so let me tell you. Praise's love interest at the moment is most likely Lucy. I'll leave it at that. When I have more details, I will tell you. But Praise's love interest at the moment is Lucy. Okay, and if I tell you something, I did my findings. So you can leave it at that. Also, he's not a pretender. So yes, like I said, Tessie's lifestyle, Praise is currently into Lucy. That's the honest truth. Yeah. Okay. Dorathy behavior insult on Wathoni was not called for. Yes, I know. Dorathy is human. Yes, we know Dorathy is human. Every human. So I think that everyone has their level of outburst and how they can hold issues. But of course, Dorathy took it overboard. Katrina is trying to cover up what will be reviewed about her very soon. So I hope that Ebuka gets to the issue that happened between Praise and Katrina. Apart from that, I don't think that there's any other thing or evidence. I don't think that Dorathy Katrina has any other issue. The only thing that is tagged with Katrina is the scene that she had with Praise in the house, right? And that's what it is. Right. So your Plot Explorer, those who are exploring Dorathy, congratulations. I mean, I am a fan of every one of them. I just literally would tell you what has happened. So How can you watch online, please? I don't know. I just come here to give you the reviews of what is happening. Somebody says Dora pretends a lot. I can't wait to see T and Tolani Batch. So there was a place we saw where Tolani Batch threw a pillow at V, and it was crazy, right? But we'll wait to see. What happens during that. I think that's going to come up. So for next week Monday, I'm going to bring you the review, and of course, at the weekend, I will come with the live review like this and get to chat with you guys on what exactly you want me to, go deep into and explain more about, right? So, as it stands right now, I want to say a very big thank you. We've done 1 hour here, and I want to say a very big thank you. I just want to type my handle. My handle is at the Femi Daniel. So for those of you who want to follow me on Instagram, you can do that. You can do that here. I just type my handle on Instagram. You can follow me. Thank you so much, everyone, for for coming on the live session today, the review. I appreciate you a lot. Follow me on Instagram at the Femi Daniel, and of course, you can hit me up in my DM. Tell me whatever you want to know. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you Monday evening for the next the episode 3 of the BBNaija Reunion Lockdown 2021. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. Take care. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful day from wherever you're watching from, South Africa, all over the world, Nigeria, and everybody. Thank you so much, and it's bye for now.